Hello, darlings, and welcome to Modelland. And just remember, my beauties, that beauty is in the smiles of the beholder. Now, I want you all to join me on a tour of this place for the most beautiful people in all of Metopia. Now, you should be aware that I'm not actually from Modelland, but I will do my best to introduce you to this strange and mostly not wonderful world. Strike a pose. Okay, guys, so I did actually read all of Modelland, and so I can tell you about it with some amount of authority. Now, first thing to know, that it actually was not as bad as I was expecting. So I sort of thought that I wouldn't actually be able to finish the book, but I was. I did finish, so go me, all 570 something pages. Thank you, Stephanie. You're beautiful. I love you. I'm smizing at you so hard right now. So this is I don't usually take notes when I read, but this time I took notes. So here we go. Oh God. So we'll see what I can get through in the time that I have. So first of all, we've got Tookie. She's our heroine. And she is invisible pretty much. She has skipped the last 39 days of class at Bangles, Baubles, and Beads, B3, that's her school, and they call it Bile, Barf, Belches, and Butt Bombs, which they say B4 for short, even though that is in fact 5 Bs, so editor, count Bs better. Tookie is invisible. She has skipped the last 39 days of class. Instead, she's been laying in the hallway shooting whipped cream into her mouth. And no one has noticed her, no one has stepped on her. She dreams of being kicked by some passerby because at least they'll know she exists. And also, you should know that she has enormous feet, the widest forehead ever. Her hair changes from curly to straight to frizzy to wavy all of the time, which I can sort of relate to, but still, that's a little extreme. And she has enormous feet and tiny baby fingers. That is the actual description from the book. Tiny baby fingers. It's creepy as fuck, right? Yeah. So, anyways, in Metopia where she lives, there's this yearly competition, TDOD, the Day of Discovery, where people will get talent scouted, basically, to go to Wonderland. And beforehand, everyone is like running water and causing droughts in search of smizes. Now, smizes are not smiling with your eyes like they are on America's Next Top Model, apparently. They are actual things, like some sort of jewelry. I didn't quite understand what a smize was. And basically, they try to find them. It's like this book, to try to understand what it is. Modelland is America's Next Top Model plus Cinderella, because her parents hate her and they like her younger sister, who is beautiful and actually named Miracle, Myrracle, Miracle. And so basically she's like the unwanted child, and they may be her actual parents, but they treat her like an ugly stepmother would. And then in the end, she gets to have the hot guy and everything. And then add to those Willy Wonka. So a smize is basically a golden ticket, except that the smize doesn't actually do anything for you. You can get a smize and not end up going. So it's kind of worthless. I think it's just for the reference to the show. She refers to her journal that she writes in because she only has one friend and her friend is insane. Like, she's paranoid and she cuts herself, and she needs some serious help. She calls her journal T-Mail Jail, or TMJ. She knows 28 languages. Colorian, Beijingle, Gaudian, Très Jolie. So yeah, look at that. So she's supposed to be really, really smart, even though she skips class. So and she has this really deep crush on Theophilus Lovelace's, who is dating the most popular girl in school, Zarpessa. And so, oh, and he has salted caramel eyes. That is the description all the way through. Salted caramel eyes. So I suppose they're sort of a butterscotch color, a caramel color with white dots. Which, I mean, I think he has a disease. You might want to get that checked out. And he is the school president, so he wears a button that says "Vote for Love" all year round, because that's cool. And he drops his button while he's near her, and she chases the damn thing to the trash can, and it gets stepped on, so it says Tooke, which is almost Tookie, and she's convinced, here's the line, it's, "Look at how your slogan changed into my name. Don't you think it's a sign?" Yes, Tookie, I do think it's a sign. I think it's a sign that we need to get you some help. And the names all throughout, the names are horrible, you know, Crema Latte, Bravo, and I don't remember all of them, but most of them are really, really bad. Some of the people from other cultures got off pretty lightly. There are also, like, 4 sisters who are counted as one person, and it's like, she likey, me likey, I likey, I don't know, and, like, seriously, they get one bed to share. They're counted as one student. And the worst name is the biggest model in Modelland who has gone missing, and then turns out that she's there, but she's crazy and being held in Modelland. Her name is CI tilde L. Kind of like Kesha's KE $ha. Well, she's CI tilde L. And that's how I read it the whole way through. And we find out that Zarpessa is actually poor and she eats dumpster food, so screw Zarpessa. And you get lines. Every single description will use, like, it'll describe the sunset by comparing it to makeup or something like that. So everything is going to be compared to makeup or clothing, something about fashion, which I guess is interesting. Like, it's an interesting style. And, you know, this book really, it could have been a funny condemnation of our society's values or something. But, you know, I just don't think you can sustain a comedic novel for 570 pages. There aren't enough fashion jokes for that. There just really kind of aren't. And everyone wants to be a 7/7, like go to Modelland and become a 7/7, which means they have magical powers. Like CIL has all 7 powers, and she can like teleport, and she can change her form, and she can make multiples of herself. I don't remember all of the powers, but it's ridiculous. Tookie doesn't like chocolate. There's another thing. I'm just going through my notes, so sorry about that. And, you know, obviously, like, there are 4 girls who get into Modelland that aren't supposed to, including Tookie, and they don't fit the standards of beauty. And so, the whole time they get made fun of and called ugly and called out by all of the teachers. And, like, yeah, the last point of the book is that, you know, that can be beautiful too, but I don't really see that borne out all that much in the plot, other than that Tookie does get to date the hottest guy. And I mean, I'm sure that would come later in the series if they got there, but didn't happen. Oh, there's also some Charlie and the Chocolate Factory kind of business going on. Yeah. It really is so like Willy Wonka, like the challenges and the way that people can get kicked out, it's Willy Wonka. So, oh, and, you know, you get these descriptions, like, she first meets Bravo, the Hawkeye, and accidentally ends up sucking on his thumb, somehow. And then there's the scene where she's getting, like, work done on her face, because she got scratched by some models turned into cats, because they're catty, and she ends up drooling on Bravo, who's feeding her food. Bravo's the hot dude. And Zarpessa says that she just mouth pee-peed. So you get a lot of talk like that. So this book is just a hot mess. So that is as much as I can do in 10 minutes. But that is Modelland in a nutshell. And it ends with preachiness about accepting people as unique. So it's very heavy-handed and insane. I hope you've enjoyed your tour of Modelland.